it on? Yeah. My name is Dana. I'm fairly new to PottsTOWN. I moved here almost 2 years ago in August. And I just want to add my voice to what's been said, especially by, the longtime native PottsTowners. One of the reasons when I look to move here, community engagement and it has always been really important to me. I'm a writer and yoga teacher, although that's not how I make my money. And I'm an educator as well. And I've participated in social engagement conferences, and I grew up in Pittsburgh, which 10 years ago was mass exodus of young people. Nobody wanted to live there. It was an old industrial town. Jobs were declining. And now it's voted #1 city for youth, for young people. Google has moved in an office there. Has great bike trails. People want to live on the river, which went 10 years ago when they were doing waterfront housing. It was like, you're really going to get to live there. And I've lived in Las Vegas, which is another city which is considered to have no culture, no community. Everything is surrounded based on the Strip, and I've seen that city kind of struggle to find itself and get investment in the local city. So when I moved here, the two areas I was predominantly looking, not really knowing much about the area, was here in Phoenixville. And after looking at apartments, I knew PottsTOWN was a place that just seemed to call to me. There's a lot of character in the city. I love the skyline here, it's on the river. Walking around, the businesses that are here are really unique. And, like this concentration, you have a nutrition store, you have a kung fu studio, you have the free bike ride, you have the bike trail, you have some you have a vegetarian, vegan restaurant, you have Lily's Cafe, you have, all these wonderful places to go. But you don't see people outside. And I think that you really, if just to get people in a forum like this, talking, doing, envisioning what are the possibilities for PottsTOWN. I'm not one to go to council meetings as much as I like social community engagement and development. That's not, I don't protest, I don't, not an activist in that way. I write, I talk to people, I try to make connections and build relationships. And I think that that's something that you do see in the communities and cities that do go through a renaissance and rediscover themselves. People are outside. And you come to PottsTOWN now, middle of the day, nighttime, it doesn't matter. You don't see people outside walking around. Maybe small groups of youth, some adults, but you don't really see people, and so people just don't feel like they want to come and be in the city or linger around. And I would, just to add to it while I have the microphone, in addition to, whether it's a First Friday or other events that gets people up, because you have a lot of little, like the Iron Horse, the goat races. I mean, a little bit of stuff I know that's happening in PottsTOWN. There are activities happening, but just getting people into the main drag. And one of the things that has really disappointed me, and I don't know enough about it, but the fact that the bike trail has been, broken off from connecting to the rest of Schuylkill Trail is really unfortunate. The fact that we don't have a public transportation system here that's easily connected to downtown Philly is disgusting. These are two things that if we want to get people into the city and not just people who live in PottsTOWN, but making PottsTOWN a vibrant, exciting place where people from outside of PottsTOWN want to come, the transportation is going to be key for that, and not car transportation, because I don't think the city could handle a lot more vehicle traffic. But getting the public transportation system connected and getting the bike trail connected, I think are really key factors.
Thank you. And just touch on. Go ahead, sure.
I'm Cheryl Miller. I'm with PottsTOWN Borough Council, and I would just like to say to some of the stuff stuff that we're talking about here tonight about coming out and getting the community together, I'm sitting with a group of ladies here who are very dedicated and work very hard to brought the PottsTOWN farm to the downtown PottsTOWN. They're there every Thursday from 4 to 8 p.m. I don't see these many community members out there supporting that. I'm out there every Thursday. These ladies work their tails off. They're doing exactly what everybody's asking. They have local vendors. The businesses stay open, and the community is not supporting those businesses. They're not supporting the farm. They're not coming out. We have the opportunities available, and the community is not participating.
I just want to promote the farm. After she says, my name's Josh. I manage this cafe here. I'm also campus pastor with Morningstar Fellowship. But just to say a little note about the farm, you gotta check it out if you haven't. The vendors are just wonderful. As a manager of a business, we've been getting a lot of business from the farm, so I really appreciate what you guys have done. It's really been wonderful. And the vendors that we're getting, the reason we're doing it Thursday night is because they're already in Reading and other places Friday and Saturday, I believe. So they're quality vendors. So come check it out if you haven't, because it'll be worth your time.
My name is Maya Wilkerson. This is my son Emmanuel. I just wanted to hit on some things. I've come on Thursday, bought some honey. That was good. But everything doesn't just happen on Friday nights. There's other things to do here. Me and my son ran a 5K, and it was through the YMCA, but they have a club where you can go running. There's different things you can do in PottsTOWN, and you have to stop relying on other people from outside of other communities to go to and do things in their town. You have to start wanting to do things here. I lived in Pittsburgh. I had my kids out in Pittsburgh. I moved home 10 years ago. My kids got educated in PottsTOWN, and I have no regrets for anything that I've done. My family has come here from North Carolina, and all I can say is I have no regrets moving back to PottsTOWN, because he's obvious a sign of what PottsTOWN can be and will be if that's what you want. So I guess to say, it's just time to stop talking and start putting action. In order to put action, you have to start putting the foot forward, and that's the only way things are going to happen here. And I agree with basically what everyone has said. Let's just start getting together, starting meetings like this. And I put it on Facebook, and a lot of people that I would hope be here aren't here. So, hopefully we can start doing stuff like this, and everybody can start speaking their mind. I'm above his generation. I'm 40 years old, and, I can go anywhere I want to, but I'm deciding to stay here because PottsTOWN can be something if you want it to be. That's my thoughts.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Olivia Coleman. I'm born and raised here, went to PottsTOWN High. And then I graduated college. I went to Lycoming College, graduated, and came back, and I just felt like there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and I really wanted to get involved. Wasn't really sure how, but recently I went to a friend of mine's graduation party, and they said, does anyone have any words for this person? And I said, when you go to college, make yourself uncomfortable, meaning put yourself in a situation that's unfamiliar to you. Be around people you don't know, that eat foods you don't eat, that talk about or do things that you don't do, and not necessarily that you have to like and enjoy it, but it's experience. Maximizing every opportunity that's provided to you at college. Some of those kids that are here in the city, they're not ever going to experience that. So how can we bring that to PottsTOWN? How can we take our adult experiences and share it with them in a way that enriches their mind? So one thing, I went to a couple programs for the My Voice program. I don't know if any of you heard it. My cousin here, Anthony Lyon, was one of the people who spearheaded, and Hannah Davis here. So if you talk to them, they'll give you some insight. But we sat and we spoke with the kids. It was conversation. And as adults, we do a lot of talking at our children, at the youth. We don't do a lot of conversations with them, asking them, what makes you happy? What do you want? And a lot of the kids are upset because River Pool's gone. We don't have anywhere to go. We don't have anything to do. We just have the center, and that's even going down. So if you sit and you talk with the kids about what they want, they will give you the ideas that we need. We have the resources and the connections and the conversation with people with money and whatever else to provide that. But if you want ideas, we have to start the conversation with the youth. And one program I thought was really awesome that PottsTOWN did that I didn't have the opportunity to go to was when the police went to the parks and they had the community cookout or whatever that happened. And that was really cool. The cops get to be with the community. They get to get comfortable with the police. The police get comfortable with the kids. So it's just putting yourself in that uncomfortable environment instead of having prejudices and judgments about what these people might sound like when they speak or what they might be wearing or how it offends you. Put yourself in that. Make yourself uncomfortable because you'll learn to accept that. And when you talk to these kids, when you talk to their parents and your family members, you can understand the hardship and some of the struggles and maybe understand why they talk the way that they talk or why they have this perception that they have. But if you don't put yourself in that situation, you'll never know. If you stay locked in your house and you just watch TV, you're never going to see the positive that could come out of PottsTOWN. So I say start those conversations.
I don't need that microphone. I know there's people here from the school board. I know there's people here from Borough Council. As a past or a prior school district employee, I was fortunate and blessed to have one of the lowest rungs in the ladder of the PottsTOWN School District. I was a janitor at the high school for 20 years. 20 years I put up with kids and all the nifty things that they can devise. John, you're laughing like crazy. I love it. I'm going to ask you, John, whatever happened to PIPS? Pride in PottsTOWN Public Schools. Whatever happened to that?
Now it's the foundation for PottsTOWN education.
You need to go back to PIPS. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You need PIPS. I can't say enough. At 8 or 10 years old, I lived in Limerick Township. Down on 422 where the bowling alley is, okay? My home's now the bowling alley parking lot. My dad's business of 25 years is the bowling alley parking lot. I used to ride my bicycle up to Pep Boys from down there. Now I live in this town. How cool is that? Like I said, it takes cooperation, and everybody's saying the same thing. Let's just do it, okay? Let's adopt that Nike slogan. Just do it. Do something. Get off your tush and do it.
Thank you, sir. So we moved into the agenda piece of the future of PottsTOWN. We talked about social engagement, about going out to the farm. I go all the time to the farm. I go to the open mic nights, and it's not as packed as this. Why am I, a senior in high school, skipping homework? Miss McCoy probably didn't like that, and I said that, but skipping homework to go out to community events, and there's no one there. There's no one there, but I'm a member of the youth, but I take my time out of my schedule and make sure I go to every event. I make sure I go to board meetings. I make sure I go to council meetings